Hi everyone, Raz from Chartbrew over here. In this video, I want to show you how to get started with the platform. Let's say you start from scratch, so you might not have all these dashboards over here and no connections. You first want to start by connecting your data source to the platform. Over here, I have some connections, but we're going to create a new one to show you how it's done. Over here, we can select a number of connections. For the sake of this example, we're going to use MySQL, and I'm going to connect to my actual local SQL database that you can see I'm actually running Chartbrew locally as well. So I'm just going to name this local MySQL. Once I have the connection string here, I can test it out to see if it works. And it works indeed. I can get a list of my tables from the database. On the right side, if you don't have these credentials, there's an invitation link that you can send to your developer or engineer that has these credentials to get you started. Also, there are some tutorials on the right which change depending on which connection you select to get started with. So let's save this connection. And over here, we want to create a data set that we can start visualizing and select the new connection we created. And here, I'm going to write a quick query to get an ID and create that from the user table. So I just want to show a timeline of users that use Chartbrew. I'm going to configure the data set. And in here, we can preview what we can visualize. In this case, because this is a local database, I don't have a lot of signups, but as you can see, this is a timeline of signups that I have in the database. And on the dimension is created at, and the metric is ID, which is unique for each entry. And let's say we can play around and show different options, KPI, growth, and so on. But we're gonna leave it like this, so then we can play later on with the visualizations. I'm gonna complete the data sets. And I'm going to call this maybe total users. And I'm not going to put it in any of these dashboards. I'm just going to save it. And for this example, I'm going to create a new dashboard. So let's create that over here. I'm going to call it brand new designs and create. It's empty over here, but we can create a new chart. And we can say users timeline and start editing. We select the new data set we created, total users. And here, let's say we can disable the draft, and we can accumulate this data set and then show the KPI and the growth as well. Just gonna save this over here. Okay, now that we have this chart ready, let's head over to the dashboard where we can see it inside the dashboard. But it's a bit empty here, so let's add a few more things. Let's create a new data set. Go in the datasets menu, create a new dataset from the same database. And in this case, I want to select ID, type, and created at from connection. Can get some data here and then go ahead and configure the dataset. Similarly to the users, Chartbrew tries to visualize the data for you in some way to get you started. But in this case, I want to select type as the dimension and then leave the ID as a unique identifier. And you can see I have all the different types of connections over here, and then how many of these connections are available. And then let's say we want to display this as a bar chart to make something different. And then complete the data set, but name this differently, so it's going to be types of connections. And in this case, I'm going to select brand new designs as the dashboard where I want to place this chart. So I'm going to save dataset and create chart. And you can see that it added it directly here for me, the same as the preview in the dataset. But let's go ahead and modify this a bit. So maybe I want to display it as horizontal bars. I want to show in descending order so I can see which one is the most popular one. And let's say in case we have a lot of different types, I want to cap this to 10. So show me the top 10. And then I also want to show all the labels on the x-axis, which in this case is y-axis because it's horizontal bars. And then go back to the dashboard. And we can make this look a bit better by modifying the layout. So I can modify this to put it up, maybe this next to it, and then make it a bit bigger. Yeah, something like this will do. And usually for dashboards, you sometimes want to see clear numbers, right? Like how many of something you have in your database or in your data source. So in this case, I want to create a new data set to show me the total number of charts that I have in my database. So I go to datasets again. I click create dataset, select the local MySQL, and in here I want to select data from my chart table. So create that from chart, and then go to configure. And instead of line chart or bar chart or anything else, I'm going to select display as a single value. So this is going to show the last value that I have on the chart. So in order to fix this, I'm going to accumulate the data set. So now I can see a total of 1,533 charts. That looks good. And then I complete the data set. Call it total charts. Brand new designs. Save this. Okay, so now I have already what I wanted, and I can go ahead and edit layout, and maybe I can make this a bit smaller and fit it in here. Yeah, that looks good. Some other things that you want to do straight after setting up your dashboard is maybe you want to set up the auto update for each chart. So Chartbrew can update your charts automatically. If you click on the auto update option, you can, for example, select this every 30 minutes, update this chart. And then Chartbrew will go ahead and automatically query your data source to keep your charts up to date. And this is very useful if you embed your dashboard somewhere. Then your charts are always kept up to date for the users that you plan on seeing these charts. So now all these charts will update every 30 minutes. And then afterwards, you might want to create a public space where users can see, or users or clients can see your charts. So you might not want to give them access to your dashboard, so you create a public report. And then if you click on the settings for a chart, you can see add to report button. I'm just gonna click this for all of them. And then on the left side, there's this screen icon that I can click, and it's gonna take me to my report. And from here, you can change the logo, you can change the title, you can change the colors really quick. So you can modify it so it matches your brand. And then you can also share. You see you have a unique URL for each report. You can make the report public if you want. You can require a password, so make it public, but clients will have to enter a password to see the data. And then you can also add this iframe to your own website, so you can embed this dashboard in your own website. And that's pretty much it. As kind of short walkthrough on how to get started with Chartbrew. But if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch at support@chartbrew.com or on Discord, Twitter, whatever works for you. Okay, thanks everyone, and see you around. Bye-bye.